Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my podcast. Today's podcast is titled Your Joy is Triggering. Let's get into that. So, what do I mean when I say that your joy is triggering? When you are a person that can maintain a peaceful and positive attitude despite the world's chaos or even despite what's happening within your inner world, people can treat you as if you're too positive, or they'll treat you as if you're arrogant or you're fake because they don't believe that anybody could be that happy. They look at your circumstances and they're like, how can you be happy? You're really faking it. So these kind of people will try to come into your life, infiltrate, investigate, and try to figure out your weak spots or figure out your triggers. And even if they do, you're still a joyful person. And it's mind boggling to them because they don't understand. A lot of people look at joy as something that's artificial. They think of it as fleeting. A lot of people think that being unhappy is the norm, and it's not. So when you're a person that can maintain your joy, you can laugh, you can smile, even while you're going through something, people will look at you like you're crazy. They'll look at you like you're unhinged because they feel like, okay, if you're going through this, you're supposed to be feeling down. And it makes them question themselves because they're like, okay, this person is going through XYZ and they're still happy. What does that say about me? A lot of times it's just people comparing themselves, and they just don't understand how you can have that joy, even if you've been through something. But on the flip side, you have people who feel like you haven't been through anything. So while there are some people who will see you go through things, they'll be upset because they wish they had that level of joy because they probably been through similar things and they weren't able to walk out as smoothly as you did. But on the flip side, as I'm saying, there are certain people who think you're able to maintain this level of joy because you've never experienced anything. They feel like you've had things handed to you on a silver platter and life has always just been peaches and cream for you, but that's not the case. A lot of the times, and here's the irony, a lot of the times the person that is so joyful is somebody who has been through tremendous heartache and pain and betrayal, but still survived it. A person that went through the fire and came out. A person that was able to alchemize their pain and turn it into joy. That is a beautiful thing. And a lot of people will misunderstand that because they don't have emotional intelligence. They don't understand that joy is healing. Joy is something that's beneficial. I'm going to tell y'all this. I worked at a clothing store once and I was observing a customer. And there was this shirt that she picked up. I talked about this a long time ago, but I'm going to bring it up again. There was a shirt that she picked up, right? And the shirt said, kindness is cool. It's cool to be kind. She looked at it and just started talking crap about how that's so stupid. Who would buy that? And just start making fun of it with the people she was around. And it's just like, what's up with this world? Like, what's up with our society to where people treat like kindness like, oh, that's stupid, or caring like it's a weakness. People treat like you being a caring person and being a joyful person as, oh, that's stupid, that's a weakness, that's not real. When the truth is, a lot of people are masking their pain. A lot of people think it's cool to not care, it's cool to be an asshole, or it's cool to be the kind of person that is pessimistic and always complaining about things. Like, people think that's normal. And when you're the kind of person that's positive, you give positive affirmations, people stay away from you or they look at you like that's performative, but it's not. It's something that you've cultivated from within. And when you are a light, when you have a light, I talk about this a lot on my channel. When you have a light, there's so many qualities that come with you. And one of those qualities is you being able to maintain this joy. You give it to other people because that's a part of your mission. But it's also just easy for you to maintain that kind of joy. Like, you're the kind of person that you can make yourself laugh, or you are okay with in your own company. A lot of people are not. So when they see you exuding this joy, and it's sometimes too, is this too. Sometimes it's people that have purposely tried to ruin you because they feel like, well, you've never been through anything. I'm going to put you through something. I'm going to be the one that shows you how real life is. And do you hear that statement? How real life is, because they think that pessimism is the norm. They've internalized things going wrong. They've internalized catastrophe and feel like that's normal. So for you to be operating outside of that, it's like you're the glitch in the matrix and they want to put you back in line. This is why a lot of people will humble you, come for you, try to compete with you, try to knock you down to see if they can hurt you, because they're like, no, this person is always positive. They're too positive. That bothers some people. unfortunately. But it's not your fault. Your joy triggers them because it shows them where they've rejected it within themselves. Contrary to popular belief, joy is a strength. Even when people act as if apathy is the norm, apathy is truly a weakness. Because look at how much low vibrational energies exist on this planet. Look at every day. And if you're still able to be kind, compliment somebody, hold the door open for somebody, give somebody a smile, well, that is a strength. Because we live in a society that has normalized bullying, being mean, and just being rude for no reason. Like we've normalized like this separation and this disconnection of each other, and this idea that everybody is your enemy and every man for himself. That's what's been going on. But when you are a joyful person, you can extend that joy to so many people. And some people will be suspicious of it because they'll think, oh, you acting like this because you're trying to get something out of me. Or you're acting like this because you're really hiding who you really are. Like, it's sad that people can't believe that something good can exist without a catch. They feel like, no, there has to be some kind of catch. A lot of people think that pain and trauma is the norm. And while it's a sad part of life, it's something that we can overcome and empower ourselves through. When you're the kind of person that embodies this joy, like I said, some people will think that you've never been through anything, but let me tell you something, baby. This is not the trauma Olympics. You don't have to go around telling everybody, "Hey, I've been through this. I've gone through this betrayal." You don't have to do that. You don't have to wear your traumas on your sleeve or wear it like a badge of honor so that people can feel like they can relate to you. No. Some people will see your joy and think, no, you're too perfect. Where's the flaws? Where's what you've been through? So that they can feel more comfortable. That is weird to me. That is very weird. So, like I said, it's two types of people who want to see what you've been through, or people who think that you haven't been through anything. Like, they want to find a way to discredit your joy because they just don't think that it can exist solely because you've cultivated it. They feel like it exists because either A, you haven't really been through anything, or it's performative and you're just hiding what's really going on, because a lot of people have normalized unhappiness. They feel like if it's natural to be unhappy. If you're not, you're pretending. And that's the crazy thing. We live in a very backwards world, okay? And coming to my last point, nurture your joy. It is a quiet form of rebellion in a society that wants you chronically unhappy. Let me run that back. Nurture your joy. It is a quiet form of rebellion in a society that wants you chronically unhappy. And I have a journal prompt here. How can I nurture my joy without guilt? So I'm actually going to post my journal prompt after I post this podcast because I did write on it and I wanted to share my thoughts with you all. I'm getting more comfortable sharing them. So I really like these podcasts and the style that I'm doing them in. I feel like I've really grown in terms of like the seasons, because when I go back to season one, it was like I was sounding like afraid and unsure. But I've heard this quote like, speak your truth even when your voice shakes. So definitely check out season one's podcast if you haven't. But, anyways, it's important for you to nurture your joy, because this society feeds off of you not liking yourself and being unhappy and always wanting to change something. They get paid off of that, literally. So when you can say, no, I like myself, I don't want to change this and that, and it's okay for me to be happy even if I don't have X, Y, and Z. That is a form of rebellion. That is so simple, but it's so powerful, because you don't need anybody's validation to be happy. You don't need certain people to be happy with you. You don't have to have the Rolls Royce to be happy. You know what I'm saying? It's like you understand that it's not about materials. It's not about the status. It's not about the people you have around you. It's about how you feel inside. That's how you nurture that joy, because one of my favorite singers, Janae Aiko, she said, what you create from you, no one can take from you. That's why when you're a joyful person, people will try to humble you. They'll try to trigger you because they want to see that joy crumble. They want to see you have a tower moment because they look at your joy as like this pedestal, this high horse that they want to take you off of. Because sometimes people can dehumanize you when you are a joyful person because they feel like you don't have human emotions. If you're always happy, that's not normal. And it's not that you're always happy, because you do make space for those emotions that can be negative and that can, be heavy, but you don't allow that to overpower you. And I think that that's people's problem. They don't see nuance. They see everything like it's either this or that. They don't understand that two things can be true at once. Things can coexist. There's a middle part. People don't understand that. They look at things as beginning and end. They don't see the middle. So understand, when you're a light and you have this natural joy, you'll come across people who you will trigger because they don't understand. They'll look at it as you being fake or you being arrogant and you think you're better than everybody. That's why you're so happy. But a lot of this joy is something that you've built up, but it's also something that God has instilled in you. Because when you're a light, you have these superpowers, and your joy is a superpower because it's like a renewable resource. It keeps overflowing, especially when you preserve it and take care of it the right ways. It keeps overflowing, and it's how you're able to spread your light into the world. So keep being a joyful person and nurture it and hold on to it, because it's going to take you so far. Okay. And even if it sounds so simple, it is so powerful. Joy is very powerful in a world that wants you to be unhappy. So thank you so much for tuning into this podcast. Like I said, I really enjoyed doing this. Stay tuned for the next one. Mwah. Peace. Thank you.